Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Almost the end of the week. Hope you're having a good week so far. Hopefully, we have a nice Thursday here. If you're checking out the charts already, we have new all-time highs made pre-market. But we'll get into that. We'll look for some trades here very shortly. We have the open coming in 5 minutes. News came in at 8:30. I think it's clean across the board the rest of the day. There's crude inventory, yada, yada. That's all right. But hopefully, you're having a good week so far. If you're new here, welcome on in. My name's Evan. Take us through the open in about 4 or 5 minutes. But we're not going to jump into a trade right away. We'll wait for the opening range to set. If you guys have any markups of trades you took already or trades you took yesterday they want me to see, want some feedback or an applaud, whatever you want. But yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions in the chat. Use the group to your advantage, and we should have a nice stream here. I'll be followed by James in about an hour. And then we also have Power Hour. So I guess Wednesdays and Thursdays are like our busiest day on AceFX TV, right? We have 3 streams, Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then soon to be, I guess, 4. Because Zach very soon is going to have a stream like midday for his kill zone. So 4 streams a day. That's a lot. But let's find some nice trades today. Finish off the week strong with today, tomorrow. James will finish us off tomorrow on AceFX TV. And then we'll have Austin back next week, which should be good. He's enjoying a nice little trip out to the West Coast. So he's still probably sleeping. Or maybe just waking up. But what's up, Caesar, Matt, Anthony, Chris, Josh, Jake? Everybody's here. Good morning, good morning. When is the new course dropping, Stuart? When would you like it to drop? Honestly, it's not. It's my course, but it's not up to me. It's up to the editors of when they're done with it, just trimming the fat of the beginning and end and compiling it into nice, beautiful chapters. But I'd say by end of month, very latest end of month. If it moves any slower than that, I'm going to have to yell at Austin to get off his ass on vacation and let's start pushing this forward. But very, very soon. For everybody wondering. And we're also live on Twitter today. So if you're on Twitter and you're like, what freaking course? I do have a course coming out to the second part of Austin's Futures 101, which is right here on AceFX TV. Free. It's on here. I mean, you got to be subscribed, but it's $10. But this will be like the more advanced one, right? Not that that one's not impactful. It's very filled with knowledge and information that you do need to know how to trade the futures, like placing contracts, placing VWAPs, all this different stuff. But now it's taking it just a little bit more advanced and more detail. That'll be out very soon. Maybe I'll start teasing a chapter or 2 just for you, Stuart. And Scott's coming in yelling as always. What's up, Scott? How you doing? How you doing? And Frank, what's up? So if you look at the charts here, new all-time high made pre-market, which I just realized like 30 minutes ago. As I knew we were ripping higher here to start the day, which looks nice, but it's an all-time high, which now proves the point even more. I mean, yesterday was an all right day for some people, it seemed like, but just same thing of like, can you make money on Tuesday short? Absolutely. But it's like not like we're making lower highs and lower lows for multiple days in a row in this bullish trend that you could have made money short Tuesday. You should have made money short Tuesday with those lower highs and lower lows, right? But then when you come in the next day, it's just building a higher low. Here's that higher high. Roll the clip. Someone go find it. And I probably said it on Tuesday or maybe even yesterday once we were slowing down that to really love shorts long term or even just more than like an hour or so, you got to start breaking some structure because like same thing as I said last week, Thursday. Choppy day, but bearish, but then right back up. Bearish, right back up. So that's why we're always normally leaning long bias, knowing that the longs could come in at any moment more than it probably wants to just sink and fall for consecutive days. Even going back to this last week before we made that all-time high push, I believe, or maybe this was even sooner. This was on a Monday to start the week, down, up Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's very tough to find shorts and then more shorts and then more shorts. When does it end and want to slow down, turn back around? Now, NQ is not at all-time highs. It's nice and bullish, looking the same as yesterday. But if you look at the daily here on the left, still got some space to go. I think it can get it, obviously, very soon. Up about 21,250. We're at 20,600 right now. So it could definitely happen. I don't know about this week. But hopefully maybe next week, if ES can continue pushing like this, we can get it to also line up. And you can see yesterday's New York view up way down here. Used it as nice support during London. Can't argue that. Nice break and retest of that. We had the all-time high view up on from Thursday or Monday. What is that? That's the bank holiday on Monday. You anchored to that all-time high. We took it out, retested New York, broke above it again, and then nothing but new highs now. So now we got the open coming in. at a very high price, at an all-time high pretty much. We're above the high of week. So a few things here. We're going to let the open shake out. So we'll go to the 1 minute in just a second. Well, let's check out some Edgeful stuff. We'll go into the opening range. There's a gap, all that beautiful stuff. But one thing that I don't talk about a lot is the opening week range. Same thing from Edgeful. If we pull it up here in a second, it's Monday and Tuesday's low. That's the low of Monday, the high of Tuesday. So let's just box this off, as that's the opening week range of just Monday, Tuesday's high. And then now we'll just put the lines there to have it go across the rest of the week. Then you can see yesterday we did not take out the bottom. We came close, but we did not. And now we're taking out the top of it. So being that we still have today and tomorrow, we'll check out the Edgeful stats in detail. But if you go to the opening week range, I want to say it is. Let's confirm that right here. Opening week range. And they'll show a chart, the same thing I just drew. Monday and Tuesday's high. So it looks the same thing as I just drew, really, of like we're breaking it on Thursday. And then Friday looks like a bearish day on their example. But it really just means it probably wants to take out one side, right? Like if we look here, it breaks the opening week high 53% of the time. So what just happened here, breaking the high, happens 53% of the time. Okay, cool. It only breaks the low 26% of the time, 27. And it breaks both the high and the low 20% of the time. So being that we took out this top, to finish off the week today and tomorrow, there's a 20% chance we come way down here, right? So I think it could be deceiving. It's not always as easy, but we could have a bullish day today way up here and still have a bearish day tomorrow. And same thing with like that initial bounce, still end within that zone that it still only broke one side. But we also can say, well, I don't know, maybe today's not the great example, but we took out the top on like a Wednesday and then it starts coming down on like a Thursday. Let's say this is a Thursday. Well, we know it probably doesn't want to break this. And then it turns back around. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. It probably doesn't want to break both sides. So we can get maybe a nice low price, knowing it probably wants to come back higher. So we just took out the top. So we probably don't want to finish the week back down at 58.50 for a new low week. That's good. And then on top of that, we don't even really need to go too deep into the stats. But the midnight price down here, very unlikely to be hit today if you just mark it off. It was unlikely before. I even measured it fully, that where we open up, 0.86% on the ICT opening retracement price here, which is in here. When we open above, 33% of the time do we get back down to that, because it's very far. I mean, how many points is that? I mean, it's got to move 50 points down. So that's a big move after moving up 50 points. And then as well as the gap's around like 0.67, which is in this one. It's going to be a gap up 17% of the time. So very unlikely that we come all the way back down here, but we shall see. Just made a new all-time high pre-market. So let's see what the 1 minute wants to do here and what stocks want to do. See the gap way down there. Yesterday's New York way down there at 73, 40 points below. But it doesn't look that far, right? We can see this filling. Point value-wise, it's 40. We were getting 40 like all day yesterday. So it's very like tricky of like, well, there was movement yesterday and structure in it, but the volatility in it itself was very low. There was like 2-point bars at most. Where this one, we just went from 18 to 14. That's a 4-point bar, but it looks very, very normal. But we'll play the double break. We can go to that as always. So anyone tuning in late, anyone on Twitter, we're looking at the Edgeful stuff. And the midnight price likely doesn't want to be tapped, as well as the gap fill probably doesn't want to fill. And opening week range, not too important, but that as well. So the opening range breakout, believe Thursdays is always our best. 80% of the time. What month, what frame is this? Let's go 6 months. 80% year to date. 80%. 1 year. 78, 79. So Thursdays, we have the greatest chance of double breaking this opening range. So for leaning for more longs, I could say many, many times, pull the 50-minute up here on the left. This is a good open in terms of if I'm going to find more longs today, I need to see some sort of pullback like this happen. Maybe to the electronic daily view up or just some sort of pullback, because this is too overextended in my opinion. So ideally, we break the bottom of the range first, maybe somewhere down here like 02, similar to what you guys did yesterday, break back above New York, and we trend continuation the rest of the afternoon, or at least the late morning, right? But if we can't get back inside, we just slide. We shall see. But this looks like it was needed with just such a steady climb up. So we'll see what happens. Stocks, Nvidia's gapping up 2%, but so far down. Apple down a little bit. Microsoft down, Google down, Amazon down. So a couple stocks down to start the session. NQ sliding down here as well. That's not the all-time high view up, so we could turn that off. But we have yesterday's New York on that. See what we get here. The open so far, 20 points. I think we had a 10-point open yesterday, and we're 5 minutes in. All right. But anyone in a move already? Anyone got a trade pre-market? Like I said, anyone joined late got a trade idea on of what they're looking for? A trade they took at the open pre-market. I know James caught some DAX longs pre-market or in the London session, whatever you want to call it. But yeah. Dan, what's up? Randy, what's up? Kai, good morning. JB, there he is. Dean, Manny, what's up? Good morning to all. So this is us slide off. Just erasing right back to where we were at 4 a.m. Damn. Making me look bad. I said this probably isn't going to happen. Let's see. Yeah, a gap of 0.63. What did I say, 13%? Something crazy? Yeah, shorted NQ and ES on my practice account. I mean, the fuck good is that, Scott? Why are you on a practice account? It only slides like this if you're on demo. You know what I mean? It knows. Miguel, good morning, sir. How are you? Well, let's see. I just want to double check. I mean, I know some of us still differ on it a little bit, but the more and more I look at this gap fill report, I think it's like the 4:16 p.m. Eastern of like the day close, the day open. And so I'm just looking at the gray space here. But even still, that is a 0.63 gap up. 0.63 falls in this, correct me if I'm wrong, 21% of the damn time. So we'll see. This is just retesting the daily here nicely. That could look good. NQ, try to hold that as well. Midnight price on that, just as low. I mean, midnight price is basically asking for it to make a new low debt, because like it wasn't like we moved higher by midnight. It was kind of just steady down here at midnight. Yeah, that'd be insane. If we just get all the way back down there, I mean, we're still 30 points away, but it's moving pretty quickly. Don't want that to happen. But we'll take it slow. We're not going to jump in mid-open like this. Got short 59.12. 59.12, so like a couple minutes in. Past two combines. Beautiful. Great job, Frank. W's on a 2 combines pass. Nice little copy trade. W's for Frank. Practicing 30-second, 1-minute opening range techniques. Gotcha. Practicing. Yeah, I mean, I think there was also like was it 5-second? It might have been 30-second. Yeah, 30-second opening range. That like probably somewhere in here, and we're below. We want short, something crazy like that. I think Pax is the one that said that. But just nice move down across the board. No buyers across anything. VIX is moving higher now. What is that bar? At 8:30. That's the news. Didn't even shake up anything on the actual indices at 8:30. We had retail sales. Crazy. Yep, from PAX. I thought so. Maybe price will test 58.80. 58.80. 58.80. Somewhere along yesterday's New York. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to look for more longs today, I'd want to see some buyers step in on some of these stocks and other assets, but we do want that first break of the opening range low to come in first, ideally to get a long. Right, my trade yesterday was shit. The more I studied it afterwards, I'm like, that was shit. Because it was just, I went against my double break stat, which is my baby. I trade that every time, you know? I know Austin talks about it as well. That's probably the one he focuses on much too. He doesn't really talk about the gap or anything else like that. But the double break is what first thing I always check, because I know Wednesdays and Thursdays are our greatest chance. So it just felt silly that I quickly abandoned that. Of like, what? We're probably not gonna, just because we had been double breaking, but that doesn't mean anything. You live and you learn. I think James said by his DAX trade this morning, he made back most of his red day, so it's only 9:40 in the morning. He's already halfway or maybe a little bit more from recovering that, which is all it takes. Slowly stack it back. Probably not gonna make it all back in one trade, but he can still end the week green. He's crushing it still. His monthly P&L thing was just a sea of green, like 8 green squares in a row. Pretty annoying, but good for him. I wonder that same thing, Matt. Probably because I was on stream and I missed it yesterday, talking about Tuesday. It's like the setup presented like yesterday, and I missed it because I was looking for the double break. I was looking for longs, right? And we didn't get the double break. But again, that doesn't mean change your thought process to what you were thinking yesterday. It's like, okay, well, that's the idea still stands. Wait for the double break. And I just abandoned it yesterday because we didn't want to miss the move. Dean, NQ does not have the same double break stat on ES. No. Because it also often has like a slightly different looking opening range. The point value is a lot different. So that's why it's definitely important to realize what those stats are. Because I think it's more likely to just single break on NQ. We could check real quick while we have 3 more minutes until the gap opening range is set. NQ, for anyone that trades NQ, that is NG, Henry Hub Natural Gas. Love Henry. NQ, opening range, Thursday, 61. Standard. NQ double breaks 57% of the time in the past year. Call that 55. 55, 45, not great, but it does. 61, 52, 60, 47, 60. Yeah, so not nearly as strong as ES, and that's fine. Trade what you see. Learn how to trade it on your asset. You know, maybe this break of one side, I mean, obviously, clearly, break of one side back inside the range to go break the other isn't going to work as strongly on NQ. So you got to not just blindly follow that on a different asset, learn how it moves on NQ and see how you can get in with the opening range. I'll be talking about how you can trade it on ES. But just a reminder for anyone watching on Twitter, we'll be live on ASFX TV all week next week. Austin will be back. James will be doing his New York streams. We got Power Hour. I don't know exactly when Zach is starting his. It might be end of the month. It might be next week. But we'll have 4 streams a day. Not every day, but the chunky, beefy days where we want to be taking trades, right? We don't need to be having a mass amount of streams on a Monday. And we're just trying to be patient, let the week unfold, and set the tone. But yeah, you can sign up for a free trial, and then there's no reason not to start a free trial, I think. Because you just get to see 4 streams, all the different ones. You can go back and watch the recordings. And if you don't like it, unfortunately, we'll have to see you go. But there's no harm. So now we're trying to break above New York as the range is still setting. Who's long? Who's short? Who's in a trade? Who's waiting for a trade? We had Frank take a short, pass his combine. We have 1 minute left on this open bar, holding the ES, ETH daily view up quite nicely. So retesting anything to the left, a little bit below the high of week, but still maybe ultimately retesting that. Probably don't want to go to midnight price and gap fill. So it's not that I don't like the longs. I just would probably want to see the opening range break happen first to the bottom. But we shall see. Let's see how the BSC is doing. Zach's got a short. Such a prick. Easiest short of my life. I guess because it was just so high. I don't know. So Zach shorted it. I don't know if he's super short all day. Maybe. No, he says nice potential longs near the zone. 1 hour fair value gap. If you lose that, So maybe he wants to go. I don't know. Zach's a different breed. Tough to follow him. He just sends a screenshot of his trade, and he's got like the best price, and you're just like, oh, nice job. No idea how you did it, but good job. Eric's waiting to see if we test yesterday's view up, then back into the range, and then go long. 83. I mean, that'd be a big stab outside the range, but could definitely happen. Definitely could. How's NQ looking? Same. Same. Nvidia now trying to maybe find a bottom back above its New York. Microsoft's down, Google's down, Amazon's down, Tesla's down. VIX is still moving up. Isn't that crazy? How you just have such a strong overnight drift, and then the open just comes in and says, we're going to go down. So no break above New York yet. We can get rid of this 15-minute for anyone that's confused. Straight up 1 minute here. Is anyone going to go long on a break above this New York here? Or do they want to see the double break to this, the stab to the downside first? That ICT fairy dust. I mean, yeah, it's something like that. He'll take a long and then he'll take a short 30 minutes later. So you can't really, let him sway you of like, oh, Zach's long bias today. It's like, it's not today, really. Always, it's like the next 10 minutes. This does break above. What stop are we looking at on a stop at low a day? 14. Woo! We were having like 6-point stops yesterday. So the price action looks normal, but there's some big bars. 14 points just to the low to go get an easy 16 points to the high, right? It's a big range, high volatility this week. Not this week, today. A lot compared to yesterday. The slow chop higher from the bottom at 9:30 to the top, 38 points. Today in the first 15 minutes, 28 points, 10 point shy. Just crazy. But then top to bottom from like pre-market, because that also is how far we moved just in general yesterday. Pre-market into the open, we moved like 60 points already. This just pulled back like 20, 28. So it's crazy. What a difference a day makes. And we don't know which day is going to be what until we see it, But a new all-time high was made. Do we think we can get back to making another new all-time high today? It's like 29.30. Something like that. I guess it's technically a break above. This is for anyone that wonders sometimes of how do I gauge if it's like if I really like it, if I want to get in. This is definitely a viable, it's a break above. More so if the candle is above than below. And Q trying to. So if this can hold bullish and actually get above, then ES will indeed probably hold above as well. If NQ rejects its New York, ES will probably come right down with it, and it won't look like a hold, right? So if we can get like both above at the same time, then you feel just a little bit better. I mean, Nvidia looking nice and bullish. Apple's maybe finding the bottom. I mean, the stocks are still pretty much green from their gap up, so they just slid down a little bit at the open, but we've seen a bearish open followed by a full day of longs. So this would be your first long idea. If you need to trade this early on in the day, it's 9:48. There's no break to the bottom, so you're going against the double break stat kind of it, as in there hasn't been a single break yet. So, and I think Manny would say, or some others would also say, the chances of it breaking the bottom of the opening range first is more likely than the top, just because we set the high first, we set the low last. It probably would want to take out the low first, just because it's obviously closer to it, so that makes sense. But we'll see. No breaks yet. We're literally like pretty much in the middle of the range. I do like the longs. I just like to see probably a little bit more information come in that this is like the low when we're ready to just bounce right back up, because there's been no break. It's very early on in the day. I do like the hold here of the daily. It's like perfect pin down. Right, but if we could just get like a stronger jab, maybe back outside with a candle close, or even with just some more pins, maybe now we could have a clearer structure. I want my stop there for sure, because we've broken it once. Don't break it back twice or even lower, where this could easily be taken out to break once and then still come higher. So where do you put the stop here? Just hope it doesn't get tapped on a break below or something like that. But this is the idea. If you're playing, I don't think the double break's coming in, despite the stats. You're just saying we're just going to single break. Let's go up today. This would be your long from the bottom-ish of the range to the top, because buyers are stepping in on the New York VWAP. in an overall bullish trend. We just made all-time highs today. So it's viable. Just fighting some stats. Maybe not the best of the day. Probably not the best we'll get today, right? We could find something. Becca says, I'm short on combines. Nice. So you're maybe short, kind of saying like, well, we're probably going to break that open range low first. So let's go get that. And then we'll deal with the double break later after that happens. Maybe something like that. Because we do think it's going to at least take out one side. So if like you're picking what side you think it'll hit first, I guess you can trade in that direction, you know? So I think Manny's done that. Of like, we're probably going to take out this low first. And whether we single break or double break, I don't care. I think we're going to at least break that side. Let's see. And then gap fill, 86. Midnight price, even lower, right? Way down there. That's 74, well below New York. And that looks far. I don't know if we want to get that. I mean, statistically, we don't want to go get that midnight price or even this gap. And so if it does break outside the opening range low to the gap, it's only another 9 points. Oh, interesting. Manny took it short as well, it seems like, with Rebecca. All right, so we got a few people calling, like trying to call the first break. Interesting trade. We often talk about like once it breaks one side, let's now react and either go get the other or trade with what that break just did. But I don't think it's a bad idea to sometimes try to figure out a way to maybe go get that first break because we know it's going to break one side today. Right? I mean, that the opening range, 0% of the time does it never break. So we're going to get out of this puppy at some point today. What side first? Let's see. Maybe you could argue if we put on a lower day from like the regular trading hours, if that could be taken out, you guys have a hold of New York and a break of lower day. Maybe that's a little bit better. You can still get 1-to-1, like 8 to 8, just for the timing of the shorts, potentially. Just ask yourself, how could this be better, combine or not? And we've seen this like completely reverse a strong open like this down, but it was normally after we popped out one side. Like it could be very easy to believe the shorts all day or for an extended period of time, but we've seen a strong move down and like a strong V right up, but it normally popped out first, giving us something to trade. You could take this long in the middle, but I'd rather not this early on in the day when I have stats that I ignored yesterday. So I'd rather miss a win following the stats, which often protect me and often put me in good trades. Maybe sometimes it'll cause me to miss one, but 8 times out of 10, it helps me. So if I miss a winner here from the middle of the range with no breaks, that's not my trade. I could live with that. If I take a trade ignoring the stats 2 days in a row and I take 2 losses, we can't live with that. Just got to ask yourself that question. Will I be more upset if I take this and I lose? Yeah. You damn straight. Yes, sir. Matt's done trying to predict it. Yeah. Aircon likes the longs. Clean traffic. Clean traffic. That's a nice phrase. I never heard that. Yeah, it's nice traffic. Nvidia up 4% now, probably making new highs. Yes, sir. Apple's back above New York. Microsoft. NQ and ES looking the same. Nothing yet. Volatility very much slowed down. Who else is in the move? We got Rebecca and Manny in the BSC taking shorts. And Aircon likes the longs. I think someone else said they like the longs. Miguel likes the longs. I like the longs today. And that's a nice hold. Why couldn't you have like popped out the bottom for us? It's all right. It's all right. We got James's stream. We got plenty of time left on this stream. We got Power Hour later. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time. What we could maybe do, I don't know. Let's turn on a previous all-time high, like what we had on the changeover of day. Well, never mind. Now it looks the same. So previous all-time high what we had on, and now yesterday's New York are lined up perfectly. So we don't need both. We know they're both there. That maybe wants to retest that previous all-time high view up. But then that would go against the gap fill. This gap probably doesn't want to fill. And I think today's a safe example in terms of like if it's not this gap at 4:14 in the afternoon, 0.63. If it's at like the 4 o'clock close, it's pretty much the same price. So same size gap, same probability. So like that gap shouldn't want to fill. So like the shorts may win here to like break one side, but it shouldn't get down to 86 today. Probabilities, we don't want. More times than not, we don't. So let's have a good day. Gap up 21%. 21% of the time. Ryan's flat. Nice. Randy's long at 09. Okay. Up there. Middle of the range. Break of the New York, Randy. Doesn't seem like your trade when we don't have a break of a range yet. A level. Here's the break of low day for Manny or Rebecca. You guys have a better price, but maybe this is the safer play of a short, even though you have the in your mind, and I don't know if you're wrong, the probability that we take out the bottom first than the low first, just because of the way we open bearish. I think you want to probably take out the low first. This is maybe just the best price that you know where to have a stop now, at least here, to go get the bottom. Where like if you shorted it here, I guess you kind of just have like a floating stop. I don't know. But yeah, now it's folding over for you guys. Break of a low day. Sellers are in. Hold of New York. Now let's keep an eye on this gap fill. We wanted to double break here for Manny and Rebecca, and then we could also see our double break opening range low. We can see one side taken out, potentially get back above, and fire off some longs. All right. And Q back below. I mean, that's why it's always so tricky of like, yeah, clearly it was above for like 4 or 5 minutes, but now just if this made a new lower low, I'd be like, yeah, it's a hold though. Like it got a little bit above, but since it didn't hold above, it didn't hold above. It's just like, yeah, it's technically a close above, but depending on the next few bars, it could look different. So, Aaron, what's up? New here, looking for longs as well. Oh, well, welcome in. Happy to have you. Where are you tuning in from? America? Where are we tuning in from? Video retest in New York. Microsoft's still moving down. Stocks are still moving down for the most part, except for Apple and Nvidia. They're kind of chilling, but still nothing. Can you guys see that blue line? I think you can. I don't think it's too bright. Make it purple. But that'd be the gap fill. And it'd be kind of perfect if it, honestly, even if it breaks, let's just game plan. If it breaks the bottom of the opening range back inside, let's just say even goes a little bit deeper. Steadily out, back inside. Let's say we get long here on the break back inside the range. You could maybe play it below New York VWAP, but put a stop loss below the gap fill, knowing it probably doesn't want to fill. That price is probably safe. Right? That's just one way to maybe look at it. Of like sometimes when we know we want to only single break the initial balance or something, we could like long it here, saying it probably doesn't want to get down here, so don't come down here. But we'll see what happens. If that comes into play, we'll bring it up again. LA. All right. We got some LA people in here. Thomas is in here. Ryan. Got a few on the West Coast. Appreciate you tuning in nice and early. So Rebecca and Manny or anyone else that's short, where's the target on this? Just 1R, break of the opening range low, and we're out. How do you guys want to manage it once you're in it? You don't have to tell me, but start figuring that out yourself. If this does fall for you, when do you get out? Make sure I'm logged into Top Step X here. Sometimes it logs me out. All right, we're good. Let's anchor in New York. And our opening range, just for fun. Break of opening range low, and I'm out. Okay, nice. I mean, with your New York price, that's 07 to 95. It's a nice move. I think you got like 07 or 08. And I'm targeting 58.71 if it breaks the range. 58.71. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are we going down there? That's low. That's below the gap, below midnight, below yesterday's New York. New low a day below yesterday's low. Is that yesterday's low? No, not yesterday's low. 71 would be a new low a day, though. Damn, that would suck for us on the bull train. Dang. Strong bearish open, though, at least here on the 15-minute. No buyers stepping in. It's just a nice lower high, lower low so far. Rebecca and Manny hopefully make some money soon and a few points. I'd probably lock stop soon if you're not already. Just if you got a nice high price at like 08, 09, do you really want it to come back to the middle? Being up 10 points or so? You do you. You do you. Asia low, yeah, low a day. Yeah, that would suck. Just wouldn't look good. Be a strong sell-off. All right. Apple's maybe holding its New York, coming down a little bit. Microsoft new low. Nvidia right back down. Killing our longs. Google's down. Shit. What a bitch. Come on. I think that's a break technically, but let's see it actually fully break. Just to be sure. Rebecca, I'm out. Max profit hit. Beautiful. There's the break. Great short. It's an interesting one of calling like the first break based off of like a retest of a VWAP and just the way the open came in, which way we probably want to go first. It's an interesting play. Not bad, right? Can't hate it. Great job. And good job holding through, even though it went above New York a little bit. Good patience. Manny got out. Rebecca got out. Mike short W. Beautiful. He was keeping that a secret until it won. Don't think I don't know that. But beautiful. So we got some people taking trades short at the open and then even a little bit after the open. So let's get some W's for them. And let's see now let's have the longs make some money. If it hits 58.71, you owe me a Dr. Pepper. Okay. Sure. Interesting choice, but sure. We could arrange that. No time frame on when that Dr. Pepper is delivered, but you got it. I don't like the pin breaks only, like yesterday's open range low break. Yeah, I mean, my trade looked like dookie because of that. So you want to have like a structure outside it to really give us that structure to use as a base, right? Rather than saying, okay, well, we broke to the bottom, there's our low, right? Like see some candles close out there. And I think, is it opening range? Maybe initial balance. Could be opening range as well, but I know Zach, he looks like a 5-minute closure. And I guess that's really not like a stat thing for him. It's just really more confirmation. Well, okay, we closed outside on the 5. That indeed did close outside. W's on that shorts opening range low, Troy says. Beautiful. Will took the shorts on the break of structure, retest, beautiful drop. So now we got the shorts coming out of the woodworks. But we'll take it. Love to see it. So when is the confirmation of going long? If we can get back above New York, if we can maybe flatten out a little bit down here. There hasn't been any buying power since the open. So I think we want a double break today statistically, and that we statistically don't want to go very much lower to a gap fill in a midnight price. That's on like a normal day, a probable day. But this is going to be a day that's outside of the odds, then it's going to keep falling lower, you know? So we want to see some buyers show their hand a little bit, that at least if we hit the gap fill, I would say, not that it can't still be long buys today, but that shouldn't happen. That if that shouldn't happen, then would something else that should happen not happen? AKA the opening range break? We'll see. If we can get back above New York at least, that would be my long. We're making lower highs and lower lows. Stocks are all moving down so far. that there's just no way to try to catch this falling knife across the entire market. VIX is now making new highs, close to. That's going to keep falling us down. So no longs yet. I'd like to find them today in this late morning, afternoon, but they're not ready yet. So hopefully we can find them. This could be a liquidity sweep because of the news for buys now. Okay, man, it got full out. Beautiful. Great job. Maybe we could even potentially fill the gap, hit yesterday's New York, find some longs later on. But ideally, we don't hit either of those. And one last thing, we talked about it a few times, the slope of the VWAP. New York, sometimes we do take longs with it sloping down, just the way with, like if this were to break outside, let's just say, and that's our break above, it's pretty flat right there, which is better than buying it here, obviously, because it's sloping down. But we wouldn't buy it here because, I don't know, we're making a new low day. There's just no buy there. But if we can maybe get the VWAP to flatten out at best, then that could look better for longs rather than going against the bearish VWAP from New York. 15-minute now. I mean, maybe it's retesting yesterday's high. Got yesterday's high right here. Maybe retesting of that. Still be building higher lows. Can't rule that out. But we got still 8 minutes left on this bar, so we'll probably see how this closes. It just shoves right down again, even more so to yesterday's New York. That would be quite the up and down. 8 hours up, not even 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. 8 hours up. Is it going to be an hour down? There's volatility. A great job for anyone who took those shorts. Is anyone still in a short? Anyone taking a short just recently, like even later than the New York VWAP price, like maybe somewhere over here? You had a lower day VWAP break somewhere on these small candles here that it broke and retest that quite nicely for more shorts. So is anyone in a trade new? Not since the original. Sheriff, do you use Bookmap? Thoughts on this? That's enough. I'll get Bookmap next week since now enough people are asking about it again. I can get it again. I'm not going to buy it now midstream, but I can get it for next week because I know Austin still uses it. James never used it, I don't think, but we can get it because, I mean, not that I never saw value in it. We did use it when it was like, okay, there's orders up there or there's orders down below us. So, like, I don't want my stop right there. Let me put them below, whatever, stuff like that. But I wasn't using it. It was like there's 50 orders there. Like, that's nothing. So, if the order book is a little bit heavier now, then absolutely I'll gladly use it again. James, close above New York VWAP, and your New York VWAP is based off yesterday's low candle at 7:30 Eastern. Whoa. Close above New York VWAP, and your New York VWAP is based off yesterday's candle. What? Sorry, James. New York VWAP is though always at 9:30 Eastern, not 7:30. I don't know if that was a typo. 6:30. Was it Pacific? 3 hours behind. Eastern time, 9:30 a.m. to today's New York. This blue one is anchored to yesterday's New York at yesterday's 9:30 a.m. Eastern time open. That straighten it out. But it'd be a close above this New York from today, the black one. This is kind of like what Ryan's saying. We want to close of bodies outside this opening range low, not just this one tiny pin. So now we'll see if we can get back inside at some point. Keep an eye on the VIX and the stocks and everything and see if they could also find a bottom. But as of right now, everything's still sliding lower. So it's a patience game. Yeah, no problem, James. Just want to make sure you typed it wrong or we fixed it. Yeah, 9:30 a.m. No problem. So let's see. Is anyone going to go long if we just get back inside the range? Or is everyone waiting for a little bit, maybe mid-price, mid-range? If this was indeed going to double break today, this would be obviously a fabulous price. 14-point stop below like the gap fill. Right, rather than saying this is indeed the low at 7 points, this could easily still get tapped, boom, come back higher. So see what happens. NQ is a little bit closer to its yesterday's New York. Even one other thing, NQ's gap being like 1.18%. Does that probably want to fill? Just like in terms of like, is that doing unlikely things as well? 1.18. When it gaps up 0% of the time. That can't be right. That can't be right. 1.17%. 1.17 gap ups. 7 times this is gapped up, never filled. 7 times it's gapped down like that, this size, never filled. We're witnessing history. What the balls? Well, damn. And this is also kind of go back to, I forget who asked it, like it is tough if you watch both assets of like, well, we kind of touched on earlier that NQ doesn't always likely double break, and it clearly took out the bottom, but we're looking for ES to come back higher, which would also mean we want NQ to come back higher, you know? So it's like we're looking for NQ to double break today as well now because we need it to come higher. But it does happen like 55 or 60% of the times, I say. So it's still likely-ish, but not like 80 or so. That'd be crazy if that gap fills. It'd be annoying. All right. Alex, I would like to go long if either NQ or ES can break back into the range. Okay, gotcha. Trying to break into it slightly here. Roy looking for a mid-range on this. If I take it, barely any structure below, opening range low for me to take a break back into the range. Yeah, I mean, it's a small little lower low. We'll see. We'll see. Aaron, possibly, if we weren't at all-time high, I'd call this one of my A-plus setups. Got overlapping fair value gaps on the 4-hour, currently in the zone. Might go long on this retest. If we weren't at all-time highs, you'd like it more if we hadn't had made one this morning. VIX is not up at all. This gives me some confidence that we will not slide all day long. I'm watching for a bottom to form. VIX is not moving up at all. I mean, yeah, it's getting stuck here at its high, potentially. It'd be nice if it was like a clean candle chart, like yes, you know, just satisfactory. But it just looks odd. The gaps, you don't know where price is moving like right now because it's not moving. It's just going to jump somewhere, but it's all right. So we got to read this zone as well is yesterday's high. It's not too bad at all. So now if we do get back above New York, here's a break inside their opening range for anyone taking along there. 8-point stop to low a day. I don't know how much wider you personally want to make it to give it some space to potentially still make another low or test the lows. If we get back above New York with like a candle I like, it's a 15-point stop to low a day. And I don't even know the math on that. Not that I'm taking anything right here, right now, but let me just do some quick math. If I were to take a trade with a 15-point stop, $250 divided by 15, $16 a point. So we'll call that $15 a point, 3 micros. That's tiny. We'll see, though. We will see. We'll see. Will took buys from 94. Okay, nice little low price there. Okay. With that price, you should have a nice stop below. Give it some space. Ugly looking stocks today. To the upside. The ones that are moving down quite nicely. It's a patience game. Rebecca, be interested long if it breaks above New York. Yep. That'd be crazy if you shorted it. Shorted from the New York to opening range low. Opening range, or New York view up to opening range high. Rebecca just playing the levels today. That'd be crazy if you got it from New York to opening range low, back to New York, and then New York to opening range high. If you just traded it 3 times, call you a market wizard. The timing would be crazy. So one thing I think is good, maybe, we got ES and NQ both making new lows a day, that there's no SMT divergence. I don't know if that's good or bad, honestly. All right. Who's in along already? Speak up. Let's see. Let's see. We're back inside the opening range low. Can't deny that. And then still below New York, still making a new low a day, but we're saying we have one break. We probably want to break twice today, and we probably don't want to go down to 86 today. So ideally, this would be a great buy, just like I was saying with like a stop below there. It doesn't want to go down there. So there's my 14-point stop. Rather than long it above New York, I get a 14-point stop at low of jet. 14 points, 14 points. Maybe it might be more high probability if we get above, but this at least gives me all the space to like pull back as much as it wants and bet that it doesn't go down there. 14 points, 14 points. Break of a view up or not. So we got Jacob long, Anthony's long at 98, right where we are right now. Break back inside the range. Aaron went long at 95. Nice. Murray. I'm fucked long from the bottom. What? I'm fucking long from the bottom of range, baby. All right. Nice. Let's go get that top. If you're long from the bottom, there's plenty of upside potential of 27 points. Kind of want to long it just with a 14-point stop down there. You feel me? Is it worth the small crack? I guess even realistically, it could be at that price because it doesn't want to go there. Give it 1 point lower. You can turn on a lower day view up. You want to see that be defended here. If sellers can bounce off that, bounce higher. We'll see. We'll see. Dan's long. Roy, I want longs to break New York. James is long. Dean is long on Q. Ryan's waiting for a break of New York. We got a lot. We got a lot. We got a lot. We got a lot. I mean, this doesn't look like the trade I normally take either, but I think the science is there. The science is behind it. We don't want to go down to 86 80% of the time. So if I have a stop there, it's pretty safe. If it's going to be a 80% day, it's only a 20% chance that stop gets hit. Pretty smart. And they're like, what did I say? Let's see. How much risk would I really put on? Let's go Top Step X and see what it looks like. NQ's back inside its range. It probably doesn't want to fill its gap much lower. VIX, we want the VIX to come down. NVIDIA coming back up. Apple's above. I mean, we're not going to really find confluence across all stocks. Maybe I can stop watching them, but Nick's also waiting for a hold of break above and hold above New York. Take the top of the range. Okay, yeah. Edgeful needs a double break stat depending on the size of the range. I believe we do. Murray, I believe we do. Could be wrong. Something does. Opening range by size. Come on, Murray. You're better than that. You should know this. So let's see. It's a good point. It's a bigger size today. Opening range is 30 points, 0.5%. When we have a 0.5%, double breaks 50%. This is NQ. Fuck NQ. I want to know ES. Give me ES. It's 0.5% size of the opening range. Hello? Excuse me? We're live on stream. Come on, Edgeful. Don't give me an error. Is it because of the size? Oh, no. All of Edgeful doesn't want to work? Stop the nonsense. Damn, something went messed up. Well, that's fucked. Probably going to go higher now. Whatever. We'll never know. This could be a cheeky long. I like the stop down there because it just makes sense. Go long maybe 6. Put on a lower day. Put on a little short. What price was that though? 86 is where I have my gap. I want it below that. 85.50, 85.75, something like that. So giving it plenty of space at 85.75, testing the waters with probably doesn't want to break that. And again, if it breaks lower day view up, that wouldn't look great. That you could even piece yourself out again, swing again. But I think with this type of trade with the small size, I'm going to let it do its thing and tell me it wants to be a 20% day. by breaking that price. But I can't deny the lower highs and lower lows. I'm just playing a statistic on this one. This isn't like an Evan Dyer play, break of VWAP, clean structure, boom, boom, boom. There is a potential double break still, obviously, but it's more so the stats to get a price, and as well as go get that double break. And we'll see if we get a Edgeful rocking. I mean, that's unfortunate timing. Stocks, let's go to futures. Opening range breakout. I mean, nothing. If I open on this window over here. Oh, well. Yeah, it's not working over there. So maybe it's not working for any of you guys. Edgeful, maybe Edgeful's crashed right now. Disconnected. I mean, maybe too many of us are using it. Oh, well. Oh, well. We'll check it out later, and I'll post the stat, because it is a good point. How likely are we to double break a opening range of this size? That's definitely something to take into account. That's just why it's good that they have that stat. Yeah, Edgeful's not working for Jacob either. Okay, yeah. So Roy decided to get in small with 2 micros at 98. Risk reward too great to pass up. Only small entry. The full entry will come in New York. Go up break. Yeah, you could even potentially add in there. My price is what? 900, 5,900 flat, 75. Tomato, but 5,900 key level. We were playing that price. I think it was Monday. I was saying the price to play was 5,900. Was I wrong? I don't think so. Let's go back real quick. On Monday, since the open, we went over this a little bit. There was some VWAP breaks here. Thomas took this one. There was a break there, slight pullback, but it eventually wins, and the pullback and a break of high debut up there. All at 5,900. It retests 5,900 there. Boom. Bounces there. We're playing that same price right now, a few days later. So I technically do have a 15-point stop. That technically, I guess I could put it up to this low a day. If we break above New York, I wouldn't really want it to break for a new low a day, right? It's a nice hold of that yesterday's high too as well. But you know what I mean? That initially buying it below the New York, don't get to that gap fill. But if it gets above New York, don't come back down and break for a new low a day. So I could even maybe tighten it. Going to scaling if we break above New York. I mean, yeah, a lot of upside potential. 26 points, 20 points, 24 points to the opening range high. See if we can get a strong close above New York here. Some of you guys got a little bit better price than me, but that's all right. My stop is down here. 15 points. You can get 15 points well before the opening range high break. NQ trying to get back above its New York. We like that to hold. Apple's been above. Nvidia's trying to get back above, holding the double bottom down here maybe. Microsoft maybe find the bottom. Stocks coming up a little bit. VIX is down 1%, like Thomas said. All right. Econ's long. Nice. Whale take profit hit. Sheesh. 59.03. Got it from 94. Nice. Nice little 8-point mover, 9-point mover. Beautiful. Scott shorted NQ from 58 or 418. 418. I don't know where that is. Over here to the bottom, maybe. Okay, after the break New York, you're up in the daily. Small retest. Okay, nice. Beautiful. $300 per account. We'll take that. Beautiful. Now we want to definitely hold above this New York. And ideally, we take this up to the open range high. It's a clear target. It's not like we can get a little bit bullish out of it. We can get some longs out of it. The full idea is up at that open range high. But of course, you could take profits before then and scale out of it, trail a stop if we can hold above here. But this is the play. Contrary to yesterday, we did not get a solid break like that. We just got a little baby pin. Bitch ass. I shorted it yesterday. And then, yeah, same thing. Like I shorted it, like still back inside the range. So this is ideally what it does look like. Play the double break. Break at the bottom. Break back above New York. Next target is the double break stat above us. Austin takes it quite a bit. We've taken it quite a bit on here. Also knowing it probably doesn't want to come down below us is even more confirmation to go long at this time, because it's shown its little short side, break of one side, probably wants to go get the other, and probably doesn't want to come down here. So that all makes sense. We can get rid of midnight price for now. If it somehow gets down that low, I'll put it back on. But I mean, I have this stretch out to 1.6R. Even my trade just needs to get up here for like a 1R technically. But like I said, I could even move stop up here, risking 10 points. We're up half an R right now at 5 points. So we'll see. You definitely want it to hold. Want the VIX to keep on coming down. Stocks to hold up their little bullish sentiment temporarily. Dan scaled in. Nice. Aaron's still in. Moves out to break even. This trade is looking like it will be the trade of the day for me. Hopefully, ideally. That's all we need. Bottom of the range to the top of the range. And then what was one other thing? What was one other thing? I'm not sure. 15-minute. Looking like it could, if it could hold as bullish for the next 4 minutes, it'll look like a nice eventual hold of the opening range or opening range. Daily view up here. I get back above. Yes, we dipped below, but we were retesting yesterday's high. It doesn't want to move down this low, probabilities say. So we live and die by this decision. Let it rock. Let the chips fall. Just need to break VWAP. I mean, we're above it. I'd like it to hold it a little bit stronger than it did. I mean, to try to do this like 6 minutes, a little bit after the open, tried to hold above, but faked everyone out. Come on, NVIDIA. Pop for a new high. I'm going to let it rock. But we got James streaming about a couple minutes here, 2 or 3 minutes, so we'll transition this trade over into there. It'd be great if the next 2 minutes we can get up to open range high. But that might take a little while just because we're 24 points away. But again, you don't have to take it all the way to open range high if you're long, especially from the bottom of the range. You can look to take it all the way up there. That'd be a really clean executed trade if it can hold that and trail your stop as it moves 1R, 1.5R. But other than that, I just have to sit in it. I can't really manage it early. I don't think I could. I don't think I would. Probably if it breaks low a day view up and opening range low, could be technically a short signal, but I'm playing that it probably doesn't want to break this. So it's a little tough. Just not a normal trade. Low a day view up's on. We anchor this. And then hopefully Edgeful can pop back up. Oh, did I see it? Here we go. Opening range break. By size. I forget what I said it was. 0.55? 0.5%. Double break 75% of the time on that. So can't hate that either. We're playing good stats. Gonna let it rock. My stop's down here. 85.75. In the words of Ron Burgundy. San Diego, actually. Icon got break even. Aaron got out break even. Okay. So trail stop break even, maybe. A little too soon. But okay, I feel you. We could look for another re-entry if you guys got out break even. Pinning that open range low again. Sellers defending, buyers defending that lower day view up. Come on. But James should be live in a few minutes. If you're on Twitter, you've been watching on Twitter, I appreciate you tuning in. We'll be live again on ASFX TV next week. James is going to be live in the next 5 minutes. And then we'll have Power Hour later. We'll have normal streams next week. I don't think I'll be streaming on Tuesday. But I'll be back Wednesday and Thursday if Austin wants me on Wednesday. But he'll be back as well. So full week of streams next week. All sessions. It'll be good. As well as course is coming out soon. It's done. It's just not posted for you guys yet, but it is done in terms of the material in it. So that's good. And then I think that's it. Hit me up if you need me. DMs are always open for the rest of the week. I'll be around. We got more trading tomorrow. Rest of today, we'll go watch James and see if he's in a trade. If he's long NQ, the Dow, German 30, the DAX, whatever. We'll see. But I appreciate everyone tuning in. Great trades on the shorts from calling the first break. And now good job anyone playing the longs on the double break now. We'll just let it play out. Can't micromanage it. Can't be afraid to lose. I got a good stop. I have a decent price in terms of it's below New York. That could definitely be better, but I want this stop, so I have to sacrifice this lower price where, yeah, the better price would be back above New York here, potentially, or the safer price in terms of confirmation. But small size, big stop, give it some room to play out today. But nice week of streams, 3 days in a row. We got Power Hour again, like I said. So it'll be nice to have Asa back next week, but we'll finish out this week strong. Hopefully, you guys are having a good week and a good month so far. We still got some time to finish it out strong if it's not as hot as you'd like. And then let's keep on rolling. All right. Let's go watch James, see what he's taking, and then I'll keep you updated on how we manage this trade in the BSC and as well as in the VIP or on socials, as always, if you're not in the Discord. But all right, let's have a good rest of the day. Nice longs here. I'm gonna sit in them. Whatever happens, happens. All right. I'll see you guys on Power Hour or next week.